Hello, hello, hello. Antphrodite here, your pop culture psychic, back to you again with another reading. This time it's on JayZ and Nicki Minaj. I have done a lot of readings on the two of these people. I'll put a link to it up here of the past ones. But Nicki Minaj has gone on a Twitter rant and she is making a lot of accusations against JayZ. Something about a lawsuit and him owing her money. And she's saying that he's protecting Megan Thee Stallion and Megan Thee Stallion is getting sued and there's a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to take a look at this. But before I get started, let me find out Nicki Minaj watches me, because at the end of all of her rants, she kept saying, this is all alleged for Antphrodite only. Now, I know that's a common phrase, but Nicki, are you there? You in them comments, girl? I love you if you are. I'm a barb. I went to the last concert and it was amazing. So anyways, let's get started. Remember, these readings are all alleged for Antphrodite only. All right. So if you guys enjoy this content, please make sure you hit the join button down below. Get access to a lot of exclusive content. Pick a card, story times. You can win a reading from me. Join button down below. Join the YouTube members, please. All right, Nicki. I'm going to look at her and JayZ and see what's going on. And then from there, we'll go from there. Because actually, I'll probably pull for her and Megan too. Okay, so her, JayZ, energy in between. Hold on a minute. Clarification. Ooh! It's money between them. Okay. Nicki Minaj, allegedly, I don't think Nicki Minaj is lying. All right, so she's the Nine of Pentacles reverse. This is about other people. So to me, this tells me that ooh, that's also a relationship card. I can tell you this. They definitely don't like the fact that she's with the person she's with, which I get, in terms of romance. They also don't like the time and effort she spends with some other people. Basically, like, a friend of my op is an op. So there are people that she's close to that Jay and Rock Nation and stuff don't like. More so than just her man. Now, the Five of Swords is petty. And that's what JayZ shows up as. So yeah, he's definitely petty, doing little things to set her off for sure. Yeah, I do see that. The Queen of Swords is reversed between the two of them, which is about alienating someone from something. So they're trying to alienate her and push her out of things. They're also trying to provoke her into saying crazy things. The crazier she looks, the easier it is for them. So sometimes it seems like she's kind of playing into their hand here, where she's like going on a rant or whatever, and they know she's going to do that, so they keep provoking her. The Ace of Pentacles is money. So definitely think they tried to alienate her from potential income flows. Definitely try to alienate her from being able to make money or take money from her, or opportunities, allegedly. Definitely looks like that. So I don't think she's crazy in terms of that. I also do think that she's owed money or will get money. Ace of Pentacles. So I don't know if she's talking about a lawsuit and stuff. I don't know all the details. All I know is that there is money that is owed to her that I do think she's going to get from someone or somewhere, or some business related to JayZ here. I do think so. There's something there. I mean, unless the Ace of Pentacles just is like an asset, or, I mean, sometimes the Ace of Pentacles can translate to freedom in terms of like contracts and things like that. So I'm not exactly sure, but she's saying there's money, there's a money card, something's there. Now I want to look at her and Megan real quick. So her, Megan. I'm going to tell you what Nicki feels, okay? Nicki feels like Megan's a pussy and she cries to the connection she's made to get help. That's what she feels like. So Nicki is the King of Pentacles. So that's about someone who feels like, I built this foundation. I'm strong. I'm talented. You know, this is my career. I'm good at what I do, right? The Two of Swords between the two of them, which means they both hate each other. We understand that. Two of Swords is also about a forced separation, which means that other people were putting the two of them against each other. That is true. I do see that. Other people were poisoning the well between the two of them. Now, the Ace of Cups is what Megan is represented as, which tells me that that's Nicki feeling like, okay, you always go to other people to get help. Like, you're always crying and playing victim to get other people to help you. Why can't you do it on your own? She feels like she utilizes her connections and the people she connects with. I mean, especially with the Ace of Cups, just like, oh, you'll do anything to get where you want. I know some people have accused her of, like, you know, flirting with people or doing things to advance her career. Maybe, but when you look at the Ace of Cups reverse, it's more along the lines of, like, people feel like Megan is fake. Like, there's this feeling of, like, I'll connect with you when I need to get to where I need to go. So maybe a user is probably a better word that I would use here, is the feeling in terms of Megan. I will say, clarification for Megan. Yeah, it seems like she's just a little boundaryless. The Page of Cups and the Eight of Swords is, I do think that she's smart and strategic with her career and her connections. But the problem with the Page of Cups and Eight of Swords is that it feels like she's... Eight of Swords is like a victim circumstance. It feels like she just doesn't have boundaries. Like, it's like someone who attaches to people really quick and then falls off. Think of it almost like, you know, an extreme version of this would be like someone who has BPD and they have an FP, like a favorite person, and then they discard them. There's this feeling of like she attaches really quick and then everything hits the fan and there's this detach. It's so I think Megan just struggles with boundaries, hardcore. Yeah, look at that Queen of Cups reverse. She doesn't realize that she comes on strong and then pulls back, and then it just confuses people and makes them feel like she's an op. So to me, I think she's really boundaryless, and she's got to learn to really stand her ground and be strong and be consistent, because inconsistency is looked at as op behavior from other people. So there's a reason why other people are feeling this way about you, because you're inconsistent. Now, that being said, in terms of the beef, like I said before, this beef definitely is, I mean, Nicki and Megan are just two different people. They're cut from two different cloths in terms of the way they operate. Megan is operating from a people perspective. Nicki is operating from a business perspective. Now, obviously, there are people pitting the two of them against each other. Do I think that this fence will be mended? No, not right now, at least. And to be honest with you, I have a hard time believing it ever will. Maybe, but when I'm looking at this energy, Nicki just looks at Megan as like a puppet. She's just like, yeah, girl, you're just a puppet. And you know what's interesting? I don't think that Nicki thinks that Megan is untalented. I think Nicki is mad that Megan is talented and she feels like she's throwing it away to be a pawn and to be a puppet. I think that's Nicki's beef with her. It's like, okay, you had all this and you could have been, and instead you're just falling into line like everyone else. She just feels like everyone else is just easily controlled, and she wishes that they were stronger. I don't know if she articulates that in the way that she needs to, though. I think that's why it's coming across harsh and judgmental. I mean, Sagittarius versus Aquarius, I guess we're not really shocked that this is the issue that they're having. It's a detached versus a blunt, you know, sort of energy. Anyways, in terms of JayZ, we're going to go back to that. Oh, shit. Seven of Pentacles is about comfort. The sun is upright in the Nine of Cups. JayZ just laughing. He don't care. He likes to play with her and poke at her. Like I said, she's connected to one of JayZ's ops, and that's the big problem. So he doesn't really care what Nicki does. Nicki is a thorn in his ass, but not that badly. Like, so he's just playing with his prey. Like, he thinks it's funny. He thinks it's silly. He don't give a fuck. He can let her do whatever she wants. He thinks she's a clown. So for him, he's just like, you're not my problem. Is somebody connected to Nicki? Somebody Nicki's loyal to. Hold on. That's Beyonce. Empress Reverse would be about a mother, but that's also a wife. The Two of Wands is friction between two people, and the Hierophant Reverse is a divorce or a marriage that's in trouble. Nicki wants to say a lot, but she can't. About, yep, there's the Emperor Reverse and the Empress Reverse. She wants to say a lot about that marriage. When I tell you Nicki want to spill the tea so bad, but she can't. She want to spill the tea so bad. Nicki knows where every body is buried in that relationship. Yes, she do. Yes, she do. And she wants to say so bad what's going on there. Now, if you've seen any of my other readings on Beyonce and JayZ, you already know the tea. But she's like, oh, it ain't all sunshine and roses over there. That relationship is a disaster and always been. The Two of Wands is like, there is Nicki, the Queen of Wands of Earth. I mean, that's her being like, girl, they both have their own side pieces, or they both have this, or they both do this, or they both do this. She's like, that shit is fake. Like, that's allegedly. That's the feeling. The feeling is like, girl, that sham. But she can't say none of that. I want to look at Beyonce and Nicki Minaj directly. Queen of Pentacles, Three of Swords reverse, or Three of Pentacles reverse, and the Five of Pentacles. Interesting. She doesn't want to. Nicki is. You know what? That's actually kind of nice. Nicki doesn't want to rope other people into her shit, and she doesn't want to ruin other people's careers. That's why she's very strategic with what she's saying. She could say a lot more, because people have confided in her and come to her with tea, but she's like, I'm the only one that'll say it. Nobody else will say it, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. But there's some shit that she could really say, but she doesn't want to get other people in jeopardy and other people's careers in jeopardy. That's what that is, because she knows how powerful they are. I want to look at Beyonce and her directly. Let's do Beyonce first. Six of Cups. That's Nicki, Two of Cups reverse, and Strength card. Clarification. I think that Beyonce was not permitted to be close to Nicki. And that was one of the beefs. There's this energy. I'm going to tell you what I see. I see this energy of Beyonce not being permitted to be close to the handlers at bay are preventing her from being close to Nicki. Nicki getting annoyed about it. Nicki trying, because she sees that Beyonce was actively trying, and this is in the beginning, the Six of Cups of the past, trying to connect to her more, but she wasn't allowed. There's some sort of controlling aspect to that. And then I see Nicki being like, bitch, what the fuck? I see Nicki being like, is she trying to link up with me? Or is she trying to be my friend? Or is she trying to ask me for help? She's confused because she's like, what is this? This is in the beginning. And the Strength card is a vulnerability, which means that she realized once she pulled back the curtain, things weren't what they seem. Beyonce, I'm gonna tell you like this. I don't think Beyonce, I dropped one of the cards. I don't think Beyonce hates Nicki Minaj. In fact, I think Beyonce likes Nicki Minaj. I think that's the problem. Now, I think things may be worse now. Obviously, the bad blood is bigger between her and Jay. But at least in the beginning, it does look like Beyonce valued her and liked her. Because I almost see like Beyonce being like, you can say the things I wish I could say. I don't think Beyonce is happy. That's why I'm like, there's this feeling of like freedom. There's this feeling of freedom, like she was seeking somebody to connect to feel more free, but she wasn't permitted. I told y'all, I keep seeing this. I don't think Beyonce is happy with where she's at. I don't think she's able to do the things she wants to do. I think her life is more in control than we realize. Like I said, every time I read Beyonce, it's giving free Beyonce. But the Wheel of Fortune is upright and the Eight of Cups is reversed, which tells me that things were getting scrapped. Potential things that they were wanting to do together, they were sabotage. And their friendship or their connection there was a lot of sabotage. I don't know. Here's the thing. I think Beyonce is aware that people sabotage things, but she's not aware of when it happens and what happened. It's hard to tell. You can become paranoid. She's like, what part is real and what part isn't, and that's why I see her a little bit lost. But yeah, maybe I keep it there. I feel like that's probably what everyone wanted to know. The beef between JayZ and Nicki Minaj is gonna keep going, but he don't really care that much about her, so he gonna let her keep doing it. That's just not his focus. I think JayZ is realizing that if he goes after people, it makes the story bigger. And his interest in things like this is very slim. He also feels very confident that he can, yeah, there's the damn Hermit reversed. He feels very confident that he could get rid of any accusation against him. Chariot reverse and Sword. He feels unstoppable. He feels impenetrable. He feels like he could do anything and he'll get away with it. I got news for you. A lot of times that is a lot of people's famous last words. So be careful, Jay, because the Chariot being reversed and Knight of Swords says that there are receipts being collected about you for a long time. I see a long trail of receipts. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I do see a lot of receipts. And the Death card, the Four of Swords reverse, and the Hangman tells me that there's definitely somebody in JayZ's camp. Ooh, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. There is somebody around JayZ that's given FBI informant. There is somebody around JayZ that is a snitch. There is somebody around JayZ. I don't know if they're wearing a wire or what, but there's somebody around JayZ that I see encouraging him to do things he shouldn't be doing so that they can build evidence in a case against him. You need to be careful, girl. I'm sure he's already aware of this, but they're coming for Jay. One thing about Nicki Minaj, she's going to have the last laugh. I can't believe it, but she is. She is. She will. You may think she's crazy, but I do think she's going to end up being vindicated in the end. I've been saying this for years, though. All right, well, I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you join the YouTube members. The join button down below. Until next time, good luck. And let me know what you think in the comments down below, because this shit is crazy. And Nicki, if you're watching, let me know, girl. Let me know.